So, yeah, I just spieled a whole bunch on Periscope, and I forgot to press play for the YouTube video. So, let's block all the haters. All right, we only dig appreciators. So, it's like if you're so certain that this is a scam, and if you're so certain that like this is so bad, then why even waste your energy? Hey, what's up? I charge for readings. I do timed readings. The rate is double, so 5 minutes is $10, etc., etc. Haven't thought about single question charges. I might just do like $5 a question. But if you're interested, let me know. If not, you could stick around for the general collective reading, which I'm about to do. We got Gemini Cancer energy with the Queen of Cups. This is Tattoo Tarot by Lana Zellner, by the way. So it's basically someone who's just emotionally stable. No, the general reading is for everybody. I'm not doing like a personal general reading unless you want to pay for one, which is going to be a timed reading. So I offer 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 15 minutes, etc. If you're interested, but I also charge. So let me know. I use Cash App, Venmo, and PayPal. It's this Queen of Cups energy is just about like emotional stability. Gemini is the communicator of the gods, as above, so below. Mercury messages. Yeah, sit back, chill, stay a while, listen. Gemini communicates with the other realms, the otherworldly realms, the divine. Cancerian is a cardinal water energy, so it needs to take care of others first and foremost emotionally, and it needs to take action in order to do so. So you could be very intuitive at this time, or be channeling some intuitive energies at this time. Emotions, the Suit of Cups is having to do with water and intuition, emotion, relationships. You see she's wearing a necklace and a crown, so she's intuitive and connected with spirit, soul source, emotion, communication, relationship. People look towards her. I've been on this tangent lately where I kind of see that we're always constantly giving each other red light, green light, yellow light signals. I got this deck off of Amazon. It's a Tattoo Tarot by Lana Zellner. We're constantly like giving each other green light, red light, yellow light signals. So I kind of see that, this card represents people looking towards her lovingly, and she's kind of giving this confident green light signal. Like she's present, stable, sturdy, the one that others look to. So you're probably stepping in this power, or being called to step into this emotional confidence. Okay. Spirit, you got any other messages? The collective, creative, unconscious. I also want to emphasize, there's the eye on her throat chakra. And the eye also represents the eye chakra, being able to see through illusion clearly. So this is an enlightened being. Her crown represents the crown chakra as well. So there's just a whole lot going on there. I've been messing around with like a spiritual technique, and feel free to not follow me down this rabbit hole because it's going to sound woo-woo, but the older you get, the lot more mental gymnastics you got to start doing, because life is kind of fucked up and crazy sometimes, depending on how you perceive it. But, this is someone who has full, I want to say, capabilities is not the word, but, her crown chakra is open and activated. And if you're interested, look into what the crown chakra is, and the significance of this. So, yeah, there's a whole lot. I've been kind of practicing myself spiritually, kind of sending energies or worries or overwhelming emotions to the crown chakra, meaning my focal point of consciousness is at the top of my head. Okay, so if you look at Buddhist statues and if you understand what antennas do and all this stuff, right there, it's like a magnet, okay, some sort of like manifester right here. So we're talking crown chakra. That's what this is, and vice versa. So we all have it. And if you put your focus and attention on it, if you send your worries and if your emotions get too overwhelming, the crown chakra is a good place to direct these energies to. I know it sounds kind of woo-woo and crazy, but I kind of been personally like practicing on putting my conscious focus to the top of my head or my eye chakra or my throat chakra or my heart chakra. And this tends to kind of even me out. So this is someone who, don't get it twisted on the surface. It looks kind of like, doughy-eyed, dull, boring, whatever, but there's some deep shit going on here. So it's all about where you're putting your energies and your focus. Okay. So when you have this awareness, people do look to you like the main traffic signal. Like the main crossing guard of what the fuck is going on in this reality, especially if you're coming from a good place. They're going to look to see who the leader or what the captain thinks. So if you're someone who leads other individuals or you have many people looking towards you for answers, this means that you are being called upon, or you already are somebody who has an awareness of this capacity of the spirituality. So this is some crazy shit. Crazy good shit, though. That's my interpretation of it. That's where I am when I come to reading these things. It doesn't do it for me anymore to read these things in a plain Jane manner. I kind of want to tie in all the spiritual shit that I come across into it all. So yeah, there's some crown chakra shit going on here. And if you really want to get the party started, you have to realize that, there you go, some more crown chakra energy wanted to pop out. All right, so this is alive and well and kicking. Somebody's having this awakening and this understanding and this realization. What I was gonna say is that if you really want to get the party started with this whole crown chakra philosophy and all these energies and wavelengths and negative thoughts versus positive thoughts and positive emotions, vice versa, you got to understand that the enemy, if you want to, like, again, enemy is a strong word, but however you want to phrase it for yourself, if it's a negative wavelength or feeling or emotion that is the enemy or the thing that we're trying to raise the vibration of, you got to understand that we're all fighting the same enemy, no matter who the person is. So when you remove yourself from the subjectivity and you enter objectivity, there's only one thing fighting, and it's probably fighting itself. So to be human is to live a spiritual journey that is the road of self-mastery, and spirituality is the vehicle. So there's just a whole lot of lessons that you got to learn in this lifetime, one of which is, it's not about you, and things aren't personal, and things are objective, and, the planets and the moon and the stars and gravitational pools and biomolecular resonancies, and everything's constantly changing and moving in this big gumbo soup that we call reality. And every lesson, or every day, I should say, poses a new lesson. So, to keep it long story short, if you keep your antenna up, you're able to peep what the lesson is and what the message should be, or what the word of the day should be. If you're into that kind of stuff, sometimes days require more courage, or more strength, or more heart, or more love, or more confidence, and you make more eye contact with people, and you think in the back of your mind the word confidence when you look at that person, and you let them know, like, I'm here, like there's a real thing here, there's a solid thing here, whatever that thing is. It could be an interpretation of just the spark of your consciousness, okay? But whatever it is that we are as people or things, there's a communication going on, even in the exchange of a look, okay? So these are some deep esoteric teachings that you just come to, and there's a lot of strong crown energy, high-mindedness going on here. So if you're watching this, then I guess you're supposed to be hearing this at this moment. So cheers to you. Cheers to tequila on the rocks. Yeah, I mean, it's all gonna seem very like alienating and hard to grasp, and you're not necessarily supposed to know everything right now. It's like if you're on a journey or an adventure, which we are, this piece to the puzzle, or this piece of the map, or this obstacle is not necessarily going to be, clear in the bigger picture until maybe you get to another clearing or understanding, or another part of your journey, or maybe you complete a journey and start another one. So everything is relative and requires perspective, and also a lot of patience. What's up? Peace and love. Welcome, guys. Feel free to share, like, follow. I recently had to start a new periscope because I got locked out of my account. What's up, Chabella? So feel free to invite. Really appreciate you. I'm going to be posting this on YouTube as well. We're live on Periscope. You can find me on almost all social media. If you have a question, thanks, yuck. I think I'm going to try to do like $5 a question. My minute rate is double. So 5-minute readings are 10, 10-minute readings are 20, etc., etc. So we got the 8 of Wands here. So this is rapid change, communication, maybe action. This is, some people call this Cupid's arrow. It could be incoming text messages, emails, alerts, information. Wands is fast, passionate energy. 8s are new beginnings. Wands are the element of fire. This is Sag energy. This is Aries. This is Leo energy. It just could be something possibly related. I don't know if it's spiritual related. I don't know if it's crown chakra related. But, the Ace of Swords is something significant that is, it could be an understanding, and maybe it is just you getting this understanding out, okay? Communicating this understanding. Maybe somebody could be communicating how they look at you and how they revere you or hold you in high regard for your emotional strength and dependency and stability that you hold in their life, or vice versa. We have the 6 of Swords in reverse. 6s is all about balance. Swords is all about communication. This in particular in reverse I often communicate this card, the Six of Swords in reverse, to denote that you are moving on to a better place. Some would say Paradise Island, but when this comes in the reversal, I read this as an internalization. So maybe you're moving on to a better place mentally. We have a lot of mental energy. The Eight of Swords in reverse wants to pop out as well. So you're coming out of this sense of probably feeling caged mentally. So you got three sword energies on deck. Swords are, as we know, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, mental energy, logic, communication, reason, okay, order, um, justice, cutting through the fog and the smog of, emotions or illusion. This is clarity, especially with this Ace of Swords. So you're moving on to clarity, and you're getting undone. You're getting untrapped. You're freeing your mind somehow, some way. It could involve a lot of rest. I wouldn't be surprised if the Four of Swords popped out. Okay, some rest and recuperation, because a lot of times when you are in an Eight of Swords energy, that means you're kind of vibing in the direction of the Nine of Swords, and the Nine of Swords means you're not getting enough rest. You're not resting your mentality. Your mentality might have been on overdrive, but this we are moving away from. Okay, we're moving towards aha. We're moving towards clarity. Okay, that's what this is signifying right here and right now. There's going to be more balance, and like I say, I wouldn't be surprised if that is induced by rest. Okay, or at least taking it easy and kind of approaching life more as a marathon and less of a sprint. So yeah, and when we combine all of this element of mind, when our mind is right, naturally our emotion is right, and vice versa. Hence the Queen, right? And notice, the kind of the imagery is picturesque as that of the justice scales, where there is a balance. So this is kind of a six energy as well. Water, cups. And it's not unlike the vibe and the coloration and the water depicted in this six. So this is very a tandem right here. It's kind of what I'm feeling. And when you do free yourself from the swords, you do, what's up, Aquarius? You do emerge as this stable person that others now look to. Okay, you're emerging from here via here. Okay, and you're emerging here. Now, it's the chicken or the egg. Is this spark, is this aha moment freeing you from this Eight of Swords? Or are you deciding to free yourself from this Eight of Swords and then you get this aha moment, realizing who you are and how strong you are and how awesome you are? It's your choice. Whatever it is, it's coming in fast. And that's what this Eight of Rods is, or the Eight of Wands. Okay? It could be other person helping you spark this energy. Okay? Could be a Sagittarius, Aries, or Leo. So I charge for readings. If you want a timed reading, if you're interested in doing a live reading, let me know. Otherwise, it's just a general collective reading. We have the Eight of Pentacles here. This is Capricorn Earth energy. Could be Virgo or Taurus as well. Excuse me, this is Virgo energy. My mistake. This is primarily Virgo energy. Could be Capricorn or Taurus. Okay. Now, this is work energy. Okay. Eights are about beginnings. This is the second eight that popped out. Actually, this is a third 8 that popped out. Excuse me. You have the 8 of Swords, you have the 8 of Wands, and you have the 8 of Pentacles. So this is 888. This is an angel number. Not to get all hokey, but look up angel number 888. There's definitely some spiritual inspiration. There's some new beginnings. 8 is the number in numerology about new beginnings. Okay. So quick movement to free yourself and maybe to reveal to yourself what your soul work is. Okay. And when we're talking about work, we're not talking about this doldrum, boring day-to-day. We're talking about real, genuine, real spiritual soul, earth, purpose stuff here. The stuff that sets your mind ablaze and on fire. Hence this 8 of Wands and this Ace. What is this? The Ace of Swords? Yes. So maybe what you're doing now is coming out of this state of being able to not being able to perceive your purpose. You're moving away from this internally because it's an inside job. This is just for everybody. This is a general reading, so feel free to apply it. You're moving away from this with the 6 of Swords, freeing yourself. You're having this aha moment that's being communicated to you as to what your purpose is. And it's to be this strong figure that others look towards in this spiritual emotional capacity. And this is your work. This is your genuine hoo-ha, like fucking life work where you're impassioned by it, you're inspired by it, it lights you up, lights your fire. Jim Morrison shit, without all the acid and booze. But again, it's not some boring, doldrum, tired, lazy shit. This is the shit that makes you want to jump out of bed in the morning. This is the shit where you don't have to lie to yourself about being excited about life. This is the calling. This is what Tony Robbins calls the thing that pulls you through the year and through your lifetime, inevitably. So I used to read this card as kind of just like a boring, doldrum. Oh, she's doing work. She's using, a compass and whatever craft tools. But this is not how we're reading this card. She's putting up fucking aces on the board. She's putting up W's. She's putting up victories. Real, truly inspiring soul work. Okay? So don't read this 8 of Pentacles as some boring shit here, because this is the joie de vivre. This is like, you don't have to be called in to do this work. This is the home office work. This is that which truly is dictated and ordained by what the Greek call kairos. This is God's time. This is divine timing. Okay. You've been training your whole life to do this work. That's the kind of inspired energy that this is. Okay. Let's crack open the David Bowie deck by David DeAngelis. Appreciate the hearts, guys. Feel free to like, share, subscribe, as always. You can find me on YouTube, Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, Facebook, Tinder and Bumble. No, I'm basically all over the interwebs, the internets. I also got a Bandcamp page. I put up music. I haven't done so in a while, but yeah. And feel free to reach out for personal readings, all that good stuff. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's just, I think a lot of this is about just really genuinely believing that there is something here to do in this lifetime that is just really inspired and really real and real genuine. Okay? The Ten of Wands wanted to pop out in this David Bowie deck. Dig on this. You can see I'm trying to get some lighting. This is a man in front of a stairway. He's just covered in chicken bones or wands. But yeah, he's spent 10 wands. This is the end of a cycle. So maybe you're putting down a burden. This is Sagittarian energy. Okay. Sages are about travel and philosophy. So maybe in regards to these energies and aspects, you're just putting that which no longer serves you, or that which might be taking too much out of your cup. You're laying it down to rest, regardless if you want to or not. To piggyback off of this Eight of Pentacles, that which is not your soul's work any longer is being forced to be given up. The dichotomy here between someone who's actually lost in their work and someone who is just completely driven through exhaustion. That's the kind of energies that we're talking about here. This energy is an energy that you could get lost in. Playful, spiritual work, effortless, soul work. You could still save the world and do it effortlessly. Whereas this is just completely just like, it's the work of brutes here. And you have to go through this sometimes. You really have to test your mettle, and go through that. Because this energy, similar to a tower moment, with the imagery in the background, leaves only that which you can effortlessly now work on. Okay. So try and notice that more and more. That which you really got to get up to work on, which is probably most of our day-to-day 9 to 5 or school, but really try to keep your feelers out there for that which you just do as a matter of play, as a matter of fact, and as a fabric of who you are in your being. Like earlier today, I just put on a rap instrumental and just started freestyling. So, and it was effortless. I didn't have to get up and get my guitar. I didn't have to force myself to do work that I guilted myself into thinking that I had to do. It was effortless. It was lazy. It was imaginative. It was creative. Last night Another example is I was just writing. I was writing on an open Word document and just writing gibberish and rambling on, and thought I was starting to write a story, in the vein of like Hunter S. Thompson and Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, and it was just patchy all over the place, but it was fun and it was creative and it was effortless. And so kind of like seek that. Move more so towards that, I would say. I feel that it's very easy to overlook the fact that, some of the highest paid occupations are that which entertain and are creative. Movies and TV shows and sports. And this is all play. This is all field of play. Somebody who sits down and writes a script because they're pulled to create something out of nothing. And it's funny because I live in LA, in Koreatown, not too far from Hollywood. And, they had the Oscars recently. And it's just like, you forget that, like, these movies came out of thin air and started from a script. It's imagination. It's make-believe. It's makeup. Like, how is it that which requires the least physical effort makes the most money, or has the most value, or entertains the most and brings the most shock and awe to the masses? If that's not magic, then I don't know what is. If you look up the origins of Hollywood, this is a type of tree, apparently. Hollywood, holly, and I guess things were made out of this wood, like witch wands, or I don't know. Don't quote me on that, but I've heard that along the line. And so you look up the etymology of Hollywood, or the definition of like, what's Hollywood? Well, that's some spellcaster shit. They're casting imaginative spells and stories and cartoons on your imagination. So I'm not saying that that's a bad thing. I'm not trying to go down the fear-mongering conspiratory route, because I don't do that here on this channel. I only preach love and light. But I'm just trying to inspire a sense of some of the greatest anything comes from nothing. It comes from your mind. And when you really start to grok that, and when you really start to understand that, then you could do anything and be anyone. You could literally write yourself into a script where you are the king of the world, or whatever. Or you could write a song, or you could, there's just infinite possibilities. I just want to remind you about that. But that's, again, to return to the original message of things that we're drawn to creatively or constructively, but that we could get lost in. And that's what I'm trying to drive home the point of when we say soul work at play. This is essentially the same message that I had in last week's reading. And this is somebody who is poignantly lost in her work. Okay. So I believe science calls that the flow state, the alpha wave state. So look into that as well. We have the 5 of Cups and the 3 of Cups. So you're moving on emotionally with the 5 of Cups, that which no longer serves you. This is the spilled milk cups, and you're salvaging the 2 remaining cups. It's hard to see that. It's traditionally depicted otherwise in more traditional decks, but this is all helter-skelter. But essentially, and again, there's some eye energy right here at the top of this David Bowie card. Essentially, what this represents is 3 cups spilled over, 2 cups stand and remain upright. And those 2 cups are the 2 of Cups card. That signifies being able to salvage a situation, communication, an agreement, a relationship, your own internal, emotional, spiritual salvation or agreement with self, the duality. This is the David Bowie deck. So either way you read it, whether upright or reverse, I see the 5 of Cups energy as a good card. In regards to emotion, 5 of Cups in particular is scorpionic energy, but it could be Pisces or Cancer. This is the 3 of Cups. This is specifically Cancerian energy, but could be Pisces or Scorpio, the other water elements. But in particular, each card has a dominant sign that it's connected to for the most part, or a planet. This being Scorpio, this being Cancer. Maybe interesting because we're in Pisces season, so it's a full deck of water signs right there. So yeah, the 3 cups is all about celebration. Could be a third party situation. Could be a party of 5 situation. Add them all together, that's the 8 of Cups. That's moving on emotionally. That's another 8. We have the 8 of Swords, 8 of Wands, 8 of Pentacles. Now we have the 8 of Cups. There you go. You have poker right there. That's 4 8s. If this isn't screaming new beginnings, then I don't know what is. It's the end of a cycle. It's the end of the zodiac calendar from April to from April to April. From April to April. Aries, shout out to the Aries babies out there. I'm an Aries myself, April 11th, 89. April, Aries, I should say, is the first sign of the zodiac. So it kicks off the new year. Okay. So Pisces season is the 12th and final sign in the cycle of the zodiac. So this is astrological new year. So this is astrological new year, new beginnings. So if you've been going through it, hold tight, because apparently there's just a lot of good new energy presenting itself. And I hope for you and for myself that it has much to do with our moving toward doing our playful life soul work contribution to this world. Because if you're not doing that, then it's like you're kind of just faking the funk. Okay, you're not really living, you're going through the motions, and it sucks. I've lived my life like that for a long time, and it's not fun, man. It beats you up, it wears and tears on you, it brings you down to your knees. It's funny because we live in like a Nike motivation, just do it culture. And I'm guilty as anyone of throwing on motivational videos on YouTube to try to inspire me to keep on grinding and keep on going. But sometimes I think you gotta throw that old model out and you gotta vibe with and ride the wave and flow and allow that which is effortless towards you. And I think that's possible. Granted, in practical terms, maybe it's only possible for, those who perceive it. That's what we talked a lot about last week in last week's video. If you're just looking at a society of, workers or legislators and entertainers and athletes and comedians and manufacturers and they're lottery winners. There's enough people to support. There's enough people in the world to support an individual that wants to do their true calling. Let's say, for instance, like a comedian, or a script writer, or not saying that we all have to do effortless jobs or effortless work, but in the spirit of evolution in this message, what is evolution if not, it allowing us to move towards effortlessness? Look at the dishwasher, look at the iPhone, look at the, whatever, anything that helped make your life easier. So just kind of feel like that's where we're moving towards anyways. And the more you move in that direction, maybe the better off we'll be, maybe the better off you'll be, maybe to tie it all around, the more of others will look towards you as an example of how to change this world for the better, to tie it all around. So, can't make this shit up, people. These cards pop out and I'm just the dream weaver, spinning my spidey web, trying to make the connections and the understanding out of it to help whoever listens. And it's like, even with tarot reading, like, like fun and, pretty much effortless it is to just talk and communicate and try to weave messages and storylines and understandings. It's a lot easier than, construction work or something, for instance, or brain surgery, or so yeah, I don't know. I think there's something to be said about that. Spirit, any more messages? I'm gonna pull one more card from the David Bowie tarot deck. Blame it on the oh. It costs money. I like your name, by the way. Mojo Jojo. Or not. I don't know. Should I just give it away for free? Should I just give a reading away for free? Let me know. Leave a comment. Let me know what you guys think. If I should do free readings. Oh my god. What's up? She there?
Of course you should give me a free reading.
Oh my god.
Of course.
I know. Do you have a question? A specific question, or?
Yeah. I have a specific question. Can you I don't really know if this would apply to tarot, but can I kind of have like a forecast for March?
March forecast. All right. Tell your friends. Okay. I got 3 decks here. This is a regular card deck. So if you want, you could pick which deck to use. This is the David Bowie tarot deck. Has a bunch of crazy imagery. This is a regular card deck that I read in the spirit of tarot. Or this is the Tattoo Tarot by Lana Zellner. So I don't know if you have
that one.
This one?
Yeah.
It's just a Tattoo Tarot. You think you'd be interested in this one?
Yeah, they're all pretty. I mean, they're all kind of the same, right?
Yeah, it doesn't matter, but I just figured I'd give you the preference. But
I like mine's better on the third one.
This one?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, it's a lot easier on the eyes. But okay, let me shuffle this up real quick. We are doing a March forecast for. I'm just gonna use your handle. It's Mojo Jojo. So yeah, I'm assuming everyone is new to this channel because I just recently created it, but I basically only read with love and light. I don't do any like fear mongering or anything like that. Try to keep it positive and just deliver the best possible messages from the cards that pop out. So it's pretty much what we're going with. Huh?
Do you do reversals?
I could, yeah. Do you watch YouTube video readings of tarot cards by chance?
Yeah, I actually used to have a deck, but I kind of slacked off, and I have a couple tarot books too, but I don't study like I should.
Yeah.
So I love it when I come across tarot readers.
Yeah.
On here though, I love it.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
How long have you been doing it?
I want to say, to be honest, I don't know. I lost track like off the top of my mind, but I've been reading at least for like 7 months now, maybe 6, 7 months. So not that long, but yeah, I'm a quick study. So I picked it up rather fast, just as far as the meaning of the cards. And I kind of have the gift of gab anyways. So it's kind of, easy going for me to be able to pick up and do periscope readings and YouTube videos and trying to monetize and grow a fan base. I kind of dropped off recently, but I'm trying to get back into it. So
that's awesome. What's your I just followed your periscope, but what's your YouTube channel?
The YouTube is Pedro Valadez, and the emblem is like a star, basically a white star on top of a black backdrop. So that's how you'll know that it's my page. All right, I'm going to start popping out cards here. Spirit, give us the highest message for our caller. As always, we only read with love and light, so let's get that vibe going. Let's calm and center ourselves and have an enjoyable, fun reading. Okay, let's see. This is for March forecast. Okay, so you got the Knight of Wands energy in reverse. This is our kind of playboy energy, to be honest. The Knight of Wands in reverse. This is Sagittarius Scorpio energy, fire sign. The Knights are communicators, they're messengers. So it could be a deliverance of a message or some form of invitation or communication coming your way. possibly from a Sagittarius or a Scorpio. When it's in reverse, though, maybe either yourself or someone in your energy could be trying to rein back in their communication or maybe their outgoingness. Like I said, again, this is kind of like the player playette energy of the deck. That's what others say. Again, you have to keep in mind that the knights are about, messages and delivering, being a messenger, delivering messages. So the fact that it's in the reverse, who knows? Maybe you could be channeling an intuitive message as well. I read reversals as internalizations. So you could also break this card down by Sagittarius. Sagittarians are the philosopher of the deck. They're the travelers of the deck. So maybe you're going to be, introspective during March. I won't be surprised if Virgo popped out, the Hermit card, I should say, which is Virgo energy, very like introspective, analytical, philosophical energy. Scorpionic energy, which is the other side of this card, has to do with finding out the truth, the great revelator, the revealer, always searching for answers, whether literally or spiritually. So yeah, this is kind of the vibe of that going on. There's a lot going on here, but future cards will kind of continue to define what this card is about. This first card could essentially be the overall energy of March. So yeah, let's see where this goes. All right, love and light. When this card does pop out in the reverse, it does talk about aggression. So maybe just keep an eye out on maybe your own aggression or just certain aggressive energies around you. You may want to distance yourself from those energies. Yeah, the Knight of Wands in reverse does speak about aggression as well. So just keep that in mind. Again, nothing fearful or fear mongering, but if we could distance ourselves from energies that don't serve us or our highest good, then it's just why not? It's a step in the right direction. So let's see, Spirit, if we have any other messages. March forecast. Just wanted to pop out. Okay, we have the Three of Pentacles energy. This is Mars and Capricorn energy. Mars is the planet of action, ruled by Aries. We're moving into spring, Aries season. March is very much so the kickoff of Aries season. Threes are about creativity, working in tandem, maybe at work literally or with other parties, third-party situation. Could be you and two others working together. Capricorn is all about steady going, reaching their goals no matter what. So yeah, I like to think of the Three of Pentacles. I used to read it as like, work related, but more recently I'm reading it as more like spiritual work, like something that genuinely, gets you up out of bed in the morning, something real and true to your soul's calling. So, I wish this energy upon you as far as just it being a form of work that's inspirational towards you and inspired and not just boring work for the sake of work. But if you notice, the imagery in the background is actually quite beautiful. And how do you make beautiful, architecture if you're not inspired to do so? So that's kind of the philosophy behind this card. Working in tandem with others to genuinely create something that you give a shit about. What I would define as soul or spiritual work. Okay, it could be in any field though. In this world, obviously, in this physical realm. So yeah, that's a part of the March energy. We got the Fool card in reverse and the Queen of Swords. Queen of Swords is a little bit easier to talk about. This is Libra Virgo energy. I mentioned Virgo energy earlier. Very analytical, could be introspective. Libra is about the balancing the scales. Queens are kind of the directors behind the actors on the stage of life. They're behind the scenes, calling the shots, making the cuts, hence the sword energy here. Uh, Queen of Sword does not put up with any bullshit. Okay, she's quick to cut out a man or a woman, people, places, things that don't serve her. She's kind of quick with the trigger on that. She's not putting up with any bullshit, basically. So she's gonna cut you out. And the only downside to this energy is that it could be a little bit too quick, a little bit too hot headed sometimes. So again, to kind of couple with this aggressive Sagittarian Scorpio Knight of Wands energy in the reverse, I mentioned aggression earlier. So you might want to temper this aggression or this quick to react energy, um, because you don't want to cut out an opportunity to be able to work with others to do your soul's work. So if it means kind of putting your ego in check and kind of checking yourself before you wreck yourself for the greater good, the higher cause, again, it has to be something that you're pulled towards doing. Um, Maybe in the vein of kind of effortlessly being pulled to work on, because it's going to be some inspired spiritual soul work, hopefully, but you'll know it when it comes across your table. um, this is what you want to get into, but you don't want to get in the way of yourself by cutting the opportunity out too soon or being maybe too overbearing with it or aggressive with it. You just kind of want to let it come in the time that it's needed. Especially, I said this is Mars, the planet Mars, under the constellation Capricorn. That's what this Three of Pentacles represents. The threes are creativity, Pentacles are earth, tangible, something concrete in this physical realm. Again, with the Capricorn energy, uh, it's a very clear understanding and message here, because the Capricorn energy means that it might take some time for this awesomeness to be created. Um, and then, of course, I guess this will be the last card because I don't want to ramble on and take too much of your time. But this is the Fool card in reverse. So the Fool is all about new beginnings. It's the beginning of the tarot. The number 0 at top signifying that. When it comes through in the reverse, it's kind of speaking of not willing to take risks or chances or reticence to commence new beginnings. So you might want to be a little bit more running gun, more open to starting something new or getting the ball rolling on something new in March, specifically in particular, since that's what this forecast is about. Um, so yeah, don't hold yourself back from new beginnings. The Fool card, the energy is all about calculated risks and leaps of faith. So if at all you have anything like this suggested upon you, don't hesitate to get into it with the Fool card. Let it be a calculated risk if it is a risk, and then be willing just to do some good ass work and just really be inspired and put in the energy and effort. Um, and yeah, everything I said about these two cards. Okay, so yeah, hopefully you create some cool shit this March, whatever it is that you're into. Does that make sense? Huh?
Yeah, that was a great reading.
Cool. All right. Thank you.
Thanks.
Have a good one. that was the first live reading I've done in like however many months. So trying to get back into the flow of it. I'm going to cut the YouTube off. Anyone in YouTube land you want a reading as depicted just now, feel free to reach me out on social media and all that good stuff. Cut the YouTube, keeping the periscope. Peace.